We got to do a little update on the Deshaun Watson shit, man.
Mm.
We got to revisit this finally, and I know we have been kind of avoiding it just because there was not a whole lot of new stuff going on. What are you playing? Okay.
Oh, no, I was gonna play the investigation music.
Yes, we gotta revisit the Deshaun Watson shit because there's been some new events, some new things. I guess the press conference is the main thing. We have now 2 women who have come out publicly. One actually showed up on the press conference and explained her encounter with Deshaun Watson. This press conference was held by Tony Buzbee, the person who is filing these lawsuits on behalf of these women who claim they were sexually abused by Deshaun Watson. Later this week, we also had Deshaun Watson's attorney, Rusty Hardin, come out and have his own press conference. They had some kind of court meeting. I don't know the legal court terms, man,
but hearing.
Yes.
I want to say hearing, yeah.
Where basically Rusty Hardin had the contention that we will ask the judge for permission to find out the identity of at least one of the women who was filing a lawsuit against Deshaun Watson. She agreed. So that will be released at some point to Rusty Hardin. And I feel like we'll probably find out who that was too, because knowing how he wants to, that they both want to have this fight in public.
Mm-hmm.
So these names are going to get leaked somehow, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So he's also apparently trying to get the other 12 accusers named as well. And also, I think that's really about it.
Yeah. So, the other thing, he lost a bunch of endorsements.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Nike suspended him. Beats by Dre.
Yes, Nike suspended him. Beats by Dre is the only company that I think actually dropped him.
Yeah, he was under contract with them. They dropped him.
Yes.
Some other company, Reliant, which is part of the Houston Texans.
Yes.
They never renewed the contract with him, and same thing with HEB.
Exactly.
So they pretty much came out and said, "Hey, we're not working with him anymore." And I think I threw this out there. I think they didn't have a contract with him from the beginning because of the trade request, because they probably figured it was no point in putting him under contract.
Exactly.
And he probably wasn't even going to sign anything anyway because he wanted out. So I think that's the reason why he wasn't technically under contract. But I think they had to jump out there and say, hey, we're not working with him again.
And that actually is a good point, because I want to bring that up too. Sometimes I feel like companies just, they want to take advantage to make themselves seem more honorable than what they are by announcing these things, even though, like you said, once Deshaun Watson decided he was not going to play in Houston no more, HEB and Reliant weren't going to sign him for anything anyway.
Yeah, nor would he sign there.
Exactly.
He wasn't about to sign a deal to make commercials, and he wanted out.
It was already over. So by them, and to be fair, they didn't come out and say because of these allegations. They kind of said they were aware of them, and they said we have no plans to work with Deshaun Watson in the future, which is true, but it was for different reasons.
You wasn't going to work with him anyway.
Exactly. So I kind of had a problem with that. I didn't like these companies kind of trying to take the high road of saying, hey, we stand with women and we're not signing Deshaun Watson when it was already a done deal. You weren't going to work with him anyway.
You think it's pandering?
It really is, man. It kind of came off like that, at least. Maybe it wasn't their intention, but it kind of came off like them trying to use a PR spin to make themselves look a little better by saying we're not going to work with him when you weren't anyway.
Yeah. It's one thing if he was under your wing, and it's like, hey, to protect my brand, I need to say something or make a move. But if he wasn't under contract, like, you good. To me, that's like a former play. If a player of a former team come out and say, hey, I know he played with us before a couple years ago, but we decided to move on from, we don't condone what he did type of thing. It's like, if he's not on your team, why do it even matter?
Yes. Yeah, I agree, man. And the press conferences were the main things this past week. Tony Buzbee, I'm sure if you listen to Sports Radio 610, you have heard these press conferences at least 15 times now and in its entirety. They've been played a whole lot. Tony Buzbee was focused around the fact that these two women came out. They're saying what happened. He's alleging a pattern of abuse that Deshaun Watson was engaged in. Rusty Hardin came out with women who he said spent 2 weeks with Deshaun Watson, and they're claiming now that he is not capable of the things that he is alleged to have done. He's updated us on what Deshaun Watson has been doing. He's been taking it very hard, apparently. And they're alleging that, we got to find out these identities so we can, because it's not just fair for us to throw Deshaun Watson under the bus and keep them anonymous.
Yeah.
So where do you stand? I know you talk about this a whole lot on the radio, but we ain't get the real shit. You ain't get, you can't say certain things on the radio. But you can say it here, man. So after hearing both sides, after hearing what the Tony Buzbee has said and the alleged victims, and also Rusty Hardin and his team, what are your thoughts so far? Did he do it or not, Figgy? Is he guilty or not guilty?
He did that. No, I will say, after listening to Rusty Hardin, I do think Deshaun was probably out there being really irresponsible, just doing whatever he wanted to do, careless, and is catching up to him. I'm not saying he did I'm not saying he did what he did, but clearly it was some type of relationship stuff going on, or sexual stuff going on, where like a lot of the times when Rusty was talking, he used the word consent a lot. So meaning Deshaun was knocking these girls off pretty much. But as far as the whole situation, man, I'm standing with the victims no matter what. If you feel uncomfortable or feel some type of way, I'm with you. But I'm kind of worried for Deshaun at this point, man, because this got to be rough mentally on somebody for him being the most lovable guy at one point, and now you the most hated, and your career is in jeopardy, and all of that shit is just you watching that shit going down the toilet. I wonder where his mind is mentally, because some people can't take shit like that. Some people might want to end it all at some point. So I can't lie. I'm a little worried from that point. And we still don't know what happened or if it's true or not, but it's just an overall bad situation, man. And I never would have thought this would have happened to this quarterback. And yeah, man, I just think it's very unfortunate. I still don't want to pick a side or anything, but I'm not sitting here saying Deshaun is totally innocent and all of these women are lying and he didn't do anything wrong. He clearly did something he probably shouldn't have been doing as a high price athlete like that. But it's a situation you never want to be a part of, no matter who you are. So I really feel bad for all parties. But as far as his career, it's really looking rough, man. I thought he'd be on the field by the beginning of the year. I'm not quite sure, man. And it's looking real bad for the Texans because it looked like they might not get shit for him. It looked like they might have to just cut bait with him, depending on what goes on. So it's not looking good at all, and people still be using the conspiracy of the Texans leaked this and all this other. It don't make any sense from a Texans point of view.
Tony Buzbee basically implied that the Texans helped get Deshaun Watson girls. Well, not necessarily girls, but he was borrowing the team's equipment, which implies that they might have known something about this. So yeah, why the fuck would they destroy themselves in the process of trying to destroy Deshaun?
Yeah, it just don't make it don't make sense. I don't think any team want anything like this. Like even if he wanted out, even with him requesting the trade, you still don't do shit like that because you're not gonna get full value at all at this point, and all this shit is coming back on them. So now people probably looking at them like, damn, did y'all know about this? and y'all was helping them do this type of behavior. So it just don't make no sense. And right now it's looking like they might have to just do a Michael Vick and just have to let him go. I know that's a different situation, but I don't know if they can afford to let this play out. I don't know how long this is gonna take, but when you got sponsors to look after and you want to keep your clean image, you can't afford to keep somebody like this on the roster for a long time and just let it play out while all this mudslinging is going on between the two lawyers.
Yeah. And to whether he'll be cut or released, I was actually talking to Mike about this, Mike Meltzer, the lawyer. This pro. It's funny because he left radio to go into law, basically, and now the worlds are colliding again. Yeah. So now he's on every sports station as the lawyer instead of just the sports host now.
We had him on this week.
Yeah. Mike's a good dude, though. But I talked to him about that because I was curious. I'm like, okay, there's no way, like you said, the Texans can keep on with this. You know, he either has to get traded, which he can't now because no team wants to take him, not knowing if he's going to jail or not. Yeah. But he also, can they release him? Because, you know, knowing how the Texans are as an organization, they don't really tolerate shit like this at all. And they've said as much in their recent communication. But they can't cut Deshaun because they will be too much over the cap if they did. There's reasons why they can't cut him. And basically, he would have to get suspended first. And his contract guarantees would have to be null and void at that point. And then they could do it. It would still hurt in the cap run, but they could make it work, I think, if he actually got suspended. The NFL has to do something first. And I think they will now that names are getting leaked or names are being released, women are coming forward. I think they're going to act sooner rather than later at this point.
Yeah.
But to your point, to your general points, I feel bad for everybody right now, man. If Deshaun Watson believes in his mind that all these events were consensual, then I do feel bad for him in the fact that his career is facing ruin at this point. That who knows if he can play football again this season is looking not likely right now. So I feel if he believes in his mind, like we'll never know for sure. We weren't there. But if he believes in his mind that this was all consensual and he's fucked now because of it, I can sympathize somewhat, but I also really sympathize for the victims, man, especially the first one who came out, Ashley Solis. She got hell on social media, man, because I definitely, number one, if you watch the live stream press conference, they had comments. For some reason, comments were enabled on the shit.
Yeah.
And there was a whole lot of people calling her ugly, saying there's no way Deshaun could have smashed that. She don't even look good. Why is she lying? Why is she capping? She trying to destroy a black man. She's a bitch. All this nasty stuff, man. Yeah. Then you go to her Instagram page, which is still public. Brave of her to do that.
Yeah.
Comments are still enabled. And you have motherfuckers sending death threats, people saying she's lying. Why is she trying to take this man down? People calling her ugly. People saying she don't even know how to massage. Like, really tearing her down, man. So to as much as I want to play the both sides game, as much as I want to give Deshaun, because we all love Deshaun in Houston, man. Yeah. We don't want to believe this is true. But also I'm like, what person would endure this for $50K or even $100K?
Yeah.
Like how would that be worth putting yourself out there to all this abuse, putting your face to where anybody who sees you in Houston gonna cuss you out and say, why are you trying to take our quarterback away from us? Why are you trying to destroy this black? Like who would take $50K for that, man? Who would take $100K for that?
Yeah. And I wouldn't. Her life is, I don't want to say her life is over, but her life is totally different now. It won't. Yes. Her life won't be the same just because of this. So is that worth the money? Is that worth any money to get paid but still be hassled like this and this going over your head for the rest of your life? Be
literally run out of town, man. She would have to start a new life somewhere else and hope nobody recognizes her. And is it worth giving up, your family and friends and everybody here for $100K, man? $100K could be gone by the end of the year.
Yeah.
Like that's not a whole lot of money, man.
That's not life-changing money.
Yeah, it's not life-changing money. You can win that shit at a contest, dog. Call in the right time at a radio show.
Yeah.
You might win 100K. I'm not saying 100K ain't nothing, but like, so part of me has to wonder, like, okay, there's no way these women are just doing it just for the money. Some of them, at least. Maybe not all of them, but some of them definitely, I feel like in their mind, some lines were definitely crossed and the abuse did happen. So to what level, we'll never know for sure, because right now, like Rusty Hardin said, he's calling it consensual. And now that's ultimately, unless there's hidden camera footage, we're never going to know for sure. Yeah. It's going to be his word against theirs.
Yeah. And it's like that with every case like this.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So the truth is always somewhere in the middle. Is completely possible that in his mind it went one way and in their mind it went another way. So it's just shitty situation for everybody. I feel for definitely the victims who were involved, who came forward and put their names on it, and their lives are over now. And also Deshaun, if he believes nothing happened, like his life might be over at this point. So it's tough, man. It's tough. And I know we're in the quick take, choose a side and stay there era, but it's tough here, man. Like,
you can't choose a side that easy like this, man.
It's very nuanced and very complex, and a lot of things are like to consider in who's right or who's wrong, and it ultimately will come down to he said, she said. Mm-hmm. So I understand fully people who are saying, nah, fuck Deshaun, these women can't all be lying. Like, I get that, there are people who are survivors of abuse who hear these testimonies and are like, okay, that's real, because they have experiences like that. Mm-hmm. I respect that, man.
Yeah, I'm not mad at people if they say something like that. I'm not saying, oh, you need to chill out. But it is some people in there wilding like, hey, I'm still riding with the
yes.
It's like, that's a little too far, buddy.
I don't give a fuck what happens. I'm still riding with Deshaun. Like, are you his brother? Like, are you related? Do you know him in real life, or do you just know him on TV?
Yeah.
Because we don't know Deshaun, man. I want to believe in my heart he's a good guy, but I don't know. I never met him, man. So I'm not going to vouch for the nigga's character based off of what I see in press conferences.
You don't know what he do behind closed doors.
Yes.
You don't know if he might be an asshole for real. Like, we don't know that. We just see the shine when the camera's on.
Exactly. But I did notice you guys have canceled him. You took him off the In the Loop intro.
I was trying to let it play out a little bit, man. But once the sponsors start pulling, and then I got a couple messages saying, "Hey, man, like that intro kind of made my stomach turn just hearing his voice."
Oh,
I got a couple, man.
What about the picture though, man? You got a picture with Deshaun Watson doing a slime season.
I do. That picture looks real suspect right now.
Oh man. You can't even repost that on the anniversary right now, man.
I can't. Yeah. I can't even post it. It don't hit the same, man. I got the Deshaun shirt.
Yeah.
You can't really wear it.
We gonna have to blur his name out too, man. We gotta say the Texans quarterback from 2017 to 2020.
You know who? You can't say who.
Yeah, Mr. Four. We gotta call him Four now, man. We can't use his real name. Shit. Quarterback number. Remember, like NCAA football, quarterback number 4. Yeah, from 2017 to 2020. Yeah, we can't say his name no more.
Can somebody even use his number?
I don't know, man. We can't cancel numbers now. 4 can't get canceled too.
Man, shit, in 2021, man, they blurring out the damn names.
Oh man, we can't cancel 4, man. But yes, it's looking rough, and like we said, hopefully this is some kind of crazy misunderstanding, but it's not looking good at all. We'll have, as things develop, we're gonna bring our friends of the show back on. I want to know what Wade Smith thinks about all this, man. We might have to talk to him pretty soon, because I know there have been some athletes who are defending the fact that he has so many massage therapists, because for us that's really weird, but for certain athletes, I know Wade Smith said it, I know Clint Sterner said it, they're saying that's normal for an athlete to have a whole lot of massages. Maybe not with so many women, but it's normal to have as many massages as he was getting. And due to the pandemic, maybe he needed different ones. I don't know, but we do need to get some pro athlete insight at some point. So we'll definitely have one of our friends of the show when things develop a little bit more and when things come to some kind of conclusion, probably.